causes damage to the surrounding materials. So going underneath shingle number 2, I want you to be in here close, Nathan, because I want to be super, super gentle. And look, that just pulled through already. The laminates, the top and bottom, are separating on shingle number 2. So I'm gonna extract that nail there. Coming down a little further, same thing here. I'm gonna barely get under there, trying to extract that nail, and boom, we just pulled through. So you can see that we're trying to replace this wind damaged shingle. We've just separated this laminate. We pulled through 2 of the nails, leaving a hole in the shingle, which has compromised the integrity. There's gonna be another nail here. And that one we got away with no pull through. Looks like one more here on the edge. And no pull through on that one either. That's great news. Okay, so now that both of those nail lines have been extracted, I should be able to pull this wind damage shingle free. You can see Tamco P-Berg is the producer. We're gonna go ahead and do some extra testing on this just to make sure it's still readily available. But for today's application, we have this painted desert shingle up here that we're gonna use for our replacement shingle. And you can see we've got some debris under here, just, you know, from the initial event. There's a little bit of leaves and such, so I'm gonna brush those away just to kind of clean our area. Get all of that out. That'll help our new shingle seal as it should. So that was kind of the less intrusive part of this process. Now that we have our replacement shingle, we're going to slide that up into place to the nail line. It should have a 5 5/8 inch exposure, just like these other ones. And I'm going to get that right in place where we want it. Let that seal strip hit. I'm going to grab a handful of nails here. 1¼ inch nails are your standard roofing nail. Go ahead and get those in my pocket. So, like I said, the process of extracting the nails is actually the less intrusive part. We now have to go through here. Manufacturer requires 6 nails per shingle line. So I have to go under here. I like to push these nails in. With the brand new shingle, it's still really pliable, and we'll kind of let you get it started. It has to be fastened at a 90-degree angle to the roof plane. And in order to hit that nail now, I have to lift this up a little bit. I try to kind of TP it on my left hand, and then I drive that nail all the way in, making sure it's not overdriven. You have to visually inspect it to make sure. I'm gonna grab another one here. And again, starting that right at the nail line at a 90-degree. And the reason we have to get this out of the way is if we hit the edge of this shingle,
as you can see, this is,
we're gonna damage it.
Yeah.
And so that one's in. Like to get it started at a 90-degree, and you can see the laminates separating. I can kind of show you real quick on this shingle. A lot of people don't know that a laminate shingle is actually 2 pieces. You have your bottom piece and your top, which also has your teeth attached to it. And what happens is they lose pliability and they start to separate here. And so we've already done that to the shingle above that we have labeled number 2.
Number 2.
I'm gonna be coming back in here and look, just barely touching it. It's separating. So there's our third nail. We're gonna come in, get another one right here. Now, I will show you real quick. You often hear people refer to this, it's a roof snake. You often hear people refer to this as the proper repair tool. I don't necessarily agree with that verbiage. Even Pack Tools that produces this says that it's not necessarily a compliant tool to use for repairs. And so you're supposed to take your nail, you insert it into the little slot, and the goal is to have to lift this as minimum as possible. But as you can see, when I'm using this tool as you're supposed to, you can't really see where you're putting that nail. Then what happens is you're supposed to keep this flush on the roof, and then you drive the nail here rather than up by the shingle. Now, why this is a problem is I can't see that I'm driving at a 90-degree angle. I'm kind of flying blind. So I have to do my best to kind of hope that it's going in right. And then you drive it there, and then you're supposed to drive it all the way to the roof deck. You pull it out of the slot and place it on top of this and finish driving it. And again, look what just happened here. I just caused damage to the shingle below where this metal impacts it. Just put a big bruise in the side of that shingle. That's why this tool becomes even more ineffective, because we're not only damaging teeth and such here, we're damaging material below our repair. And it's just not a great tool, and you can't see anything, right? I can't see that that nail was driven appropriately. So I am going to discontinue using that for today. Go back to doing it a way where I can visually inspect everything I'm doing. I'm gonna get one more shingle or nail in this shingle.
As you can see, this is already starting to lift too, just by that little manipulation there. So now we've got 3 damaged shingles now.
So that one's in. And now we also have to go up here
the bruising,
because we extracted these nails that are holding that top nail line. So I'm gonna start doing that. And you'll kind of just see how these, once they lose pliability, how it bleeds out from our one shingle to all of the surrounding materials. So again, this one had a pull through. So I don't want to go back through that same hole because we know that it's no longer functional. So I'm gonna go just to the right of that, and then we're gonna have to hand seal that hole, which is actually not an acceptable repair method. That's driven. Go over just a bit here. And again, we have a pull through here, so I'm gonna put our nail in a new location. And we're gonna have to go back through and hand seal those the best we can. And you can see here, not bending it more than a 45-degree angle, and we're starting to detach this. So we're gonna finish up here. I can tell you that this is a failed repair attempt. We're gonna get tons of photos. We're gonna go ahead and discontinue today's repair attempt, tarp this roof to make sure that we're watertight, and we'll send this stuff over to you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.